Alright, it says we're live. Let's see if that's the truth. Welcome to the live stream. Hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. I go live every weekday and I want you to join. So if you could, when you hit that subscribe button, if you hit the notification bell as well, you'll get notified when we go live. I want to talk about Britney Spears' conservatorship, which has been in the news a lot because I guess it's finally ended. And what a conservatorship is a weird effing thing. You'd think there'd be better regulations or, I don't know, some kind of safety net for people having these 13-year-long conservatorships. But I also want to talk about Seinfeld. I don't know where I seen it, on Reddit or something. Somebody was talking about how Seinfeld, when he was 38 years old, he's got to be, what, 60 now? At least. The old comedian in a car getting coffee with his friends. I had no idea. Maybe I'd heard it a long time ago, but maybe I thought it was legend or folklore, that Seinfeld, at the age of 38, dated a 17-year-old? Is that even legal? I mean, for Seinfeld, I guess when you have enough money, it's legal. I mean, look at all the things that are coming out nowadays with Me Too and P. Diddley and R. Kelly. It took them, what, 40 years to lock R. Kelly up? And I guess when you got Seinfeld money, he could do what he wants. But I had no idea. Oh, and by the way, I link all the articles down in the description, so I'm not making none of this stuff up. This happened. And it's well documented. And it's creepy as F. Let's first discuss, at 38, what's the cutoff? If you're a 38-year-old man, the cutoff's gotta be what? 28? I would say maybe 25, like a very mature 25-year-old. But I'm thinking 28 is the cutoff. If you're 38, you don't look below 28. I don't care if you got Seinfeld money or not. That's disgusting. But I really want you to think about this, okay? Seinfeld, at the age of 38, met this girl in Central Park. Howard Stern, I guess, joked about, what'd you do? Put a Snickers bar, some candy on the end of a string and pull it until you trapped her? He says he allegedly met her in Central Park and they hit it off. What the do you talk about with the 17-year-old at 38? Like, how's history class going? Seriously, girl must have been in high school, probably a private school, probably very wealthy as well. And her parents would probably like jackpot and marry him. Make that dude put a baby in you. Go halves on a baby with that Seinfeld character. What is that? 21 years. He was a full drinking age older than her. And listen, I've always said, not fan of the Seinfeld show. Not really a fan of Seinfeld. He's got that unfrosted movie that just looks like the most lifeless, soulless comedy. It looks like he stacked the deck filled with his actor and comic friends to try to, like, make up for the fact that the writing is horrible, that the concept sucks, that it's about Pop-Tarts. You know, that's a Seinfeld idea. He was like, and what's the deal with Pop-Tarts? Let's make a movie on that. It's like, he said, what's the deal with bees before he wrote B-Movie? And because he's Seinfeld, no one can say no to him. You can't say no to Seinfeld if you're in his inner circle. It's just like P. Diddley. Like, nobody could say no to him. They were like, this is the dude that allegedly put out the hit for Pac. We can't say no. Poor people, man. To these relationships, abusive relationships with people that they can't say no to. Now that I'm saying that, just think about this girl dating Seinfeld. I mean, if at any point he was a monster, she can't say no to him. He's like, I'm fucking Seinfeld. My reruns are everywhere, sweetheart. You gonna say no to me? Imagine the monster that comes out of that guy when he's upset. And Seinfeld is anal retentive. I mean, he that's what I read from his aura. His aura says anal retentive. It's the color of an anal retentive shade of burnt Sierra. burnt sienna, whatever it's called. That's the color of his aura, Seinfeld's. If you ever got his aura read, they'd be like, I see it's a dark burnt Sierra. Are you very anal retentive? Do you need to have everything in order and your life in full control? Nothing unexpected. I just can't get over that. And as a parent, like, I'm trying to debate on, you're like, Seinfeld. No, I don't think I could allow it. I'd let him come over to the house and pick her up, though. Be like, come on in, Mr. Kramer. He'd be like, I'm Seinfeld. I'd be like, I know, I'm well aware who you are. I just don't give a rip. Come sit down. I'm just in the middle of sharpening my machete. Anyways, how old are you? Like, how did the dad not be like, a baking powder? Excuse me? How old are you, Seinfeld? Do you know nobody your age? You're fucking Seinfeld. That's the other thing you gotta remember. I know Tinder and Twiddler and Grindr and Plenty of Fish, and I know all these apps didn't exist, okay? I'm understanding that the internet in the 90s wasn't here. You could meet people on America Online, but let's face it, the dating sites were far away. But he's Seinfeld. He's got circles and circles of people. That dude could walk into anywhere. And he picked a 17-year-old he met at Central Park. That's disgusting. Okay? And if you're a dude out there going, oh, that's awesome. No, it's not. Okay? Wait until you grow up and have a daughter. And you'll realize, like, at 17, their brains aren't fully functioning. Or developed, sorry, not fully functioning. And yes, girls mature quicker than boys, but at 17, and plus at 17, boy or girl, you're a moron. That's why you have to be 17. You have to be stupid to gain that wisdom you gain later in life. And you see a lot of people that aren't morons at 17 become morons at 38, like Jerry Seinfeld. And I think he even tried to cover it up. I put the article in the description down below. You can read this for yourself. I'm not making this up. This is not allegedly, okay? He's well documented, like, talking about this in interviews. Howard Stern tried to drag it out of him. And when he went on Howard Stern, I guess he was like, people don't understand. She's not that young. And plus, who cares if she's intelligent and can hold a conversation? It's like, buddy, Seinfeld, slow your roll, okay? She's in high school. You're pulling up with your comedian car, coffee, Lamborghini, trying to impress her friends. You're like, I'll pick you up after school. What are we going? To the Sadie Hawkins dance? What is a dance where the girl invites the guy? The Sadie, is that it? I forget. Put it in the chat if you remember. There was like one dance a year where the girl had to invite the guy. Which, I mean, that hasn't kept up with the millennium. Kids nowadays, anybody can invite anybody. There's no rules. Anything goes. I knew I didn't like Seinfeld for a reason. What a fucking creep. You got all the money in the world. You got everything you want. You can have the pick of any woman your age, and you go for someone a drinking age younger than you, 21 years. Something's wrong with you, Seinfeld. Something's wrong with you. 100% wrong with you. I would have grounded my daughter. So what are you doing? Hanging out with 38-year-olds in Central Park? That sounds like Chris Hansen should be hopping out from behind the door. Well, what are you doing here? Seinfeld, you creep. You fucking creep. Anyways, Britney Spears. Can we get into Britney Spears? Because this is so fascinating. Okay? Britney, I'm sorry, I just had to get that out. Because I've always said I didn't like Seinfeld, and I know everybody and their mother's a fan of his. But it wasn't just his comedy. I felt something off about him. Again, his aura is like a burnt Sierra, anal retentive shade of glow. But I really want to talk about Britney Spears, because, listen, when I was working in radio in the media, Britney Spears almost came like a punchline. She shaved her head, she lost control. There was audio of her like locking herself in her bathroom and like not handing over her kids to K-Fed. I think she's made a lot of bad decisions, okay? You marry K-Fed and have kids with them, like, Popo's out. Bad decision. And I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember the meme whereas that kid screaming under the blanket, leave Britney alone. But I feel like him right now, because I didn't realize that after all that, okay, which is probably pretty par for the course of a celebrity at her stature and all that she had to endure, you know. And again, different situation. She had the world at her fingertips, but she was just pressed to death, you know, of paparazzi. Like it grinds on you. I even give Justin Bieber, and I do not like Justin Bieber, but I give him some slack because the amount of insanity they have to deal with the paparazzi, like anything they do, they sneeze and People Magazine wants a picture of it, you know, and that's gotta twist your mentality at some point. So anyways, Britney Spears, you know, smashing a car with a umbrella, I think, shaved her head, losing control of her life. I don't think drugs were in the picture though, or there were alleged drugs, and I think later on there was alleged stuff. But all in all, when it began to spiral out of control, it just seemed like some mental issues, which I think anybody put in her position with the pressure, the performing, the paparazzi, those three things, pressure, performing, paparazzi, I think you start to break. And I don't think she was taking a break from work either. So anyways, her father in 2008, Jamie Spears, who seems like a D, and we'll get into that, took her to court, or took her, I don't know how you do it. You go to court, you get a conservatorship, which means not only is he in control of all her finances, but every life decision. And this is where, like, I had no idea what this woman went through. You got to remember, she's a year older than me. She was born in 81. She's a Sagittarius, December 2nd. Shout out to all the Sagittarius. So she's 1 year older than me, and she spent 13 years. So that means she spent her entire 30s at the will, at the mercy of her dad. Her dad made every decision for her. They said even when it came down, again, I linked in the description these articles. You can read about this yourself. I put one article from a law firm that explains what a conservatorship is, and then another one from the BBC, which they like timeline it, but they also go into like the alleged details of what her father controlled. And just so you know how petty it got, somebody says that even like he was in control of like what cabinet color she could paint her cabinets. So literally she had no say in anything in her life. She claimed that, you know, she was put into rehab, forced to take medication, lithium, that she didn't want to. She put in an IUD so she couldn't have kids. Like, imagine somebody calling these shots for you, and you're like, I don't want to do that. And they're like, oh, well, you know, you don't control your life. For 13 years, by the way. And this is a grown-ass woman. The thing I really despise about her dad, and we'll get into like the really crazy stuff, how I know he's a D-bag, because I can look at who your enemies are and tell you if you're a D-bag or not. I'll tell you if you're your friends or your enemies. So anyways, this dude, Jamie Spears, right? He's claiming to do all this for her mental health because she was spiraling out of control. But during this time, during these 13 years, he put her to work at a Las Vegas residency, which means you're just pumping shows out, I believe, every night or, you know, every week or what. It's like a high volume of shows that you're cranking out. And she did a residency for 4 years. Anybody that's having a mental breakdown or needs some kind of conservatorship should not, especially with the amount of money she had, she should not be forced to do a Las Vegas residency for 4 years. So that's a little suspect. You're suspect, Jamie. But it's not just that. I guess he was paying himself like $6 million over this period of time, which for what? What are you getting paid for? That you get to be a dad? Like, think about that. He's paying himself to be her dad, because the conservatorship is essentially like when you have kids, like until your kid's 18, like you have conservatorship over them. You may call all the shots. You're just a parent. And this dude paid himself $6 million to be her parent, the parent of her as an adult, which is also suspect. But then, are you ready for this? Here's the most juicy tidbit of them all. And you know it's true because they got court records. This one you know is true. Whether the story goes, however it's put down in that link, you can read it for yourself. The story is that K-Fed, Kevin Federline, the artist known for releasing Popo Zao. And if you're too young to know what the song Popo Zao is, go look it up on YouTube. Okay? It's a beautiful disaster. Let's just say that. Okay? But cool. K-Fed had to come in and rescue his kids because, again, allegedly the story is he said, she said, that Jamie Spears knocked down the door to one of their son's rooms and shook him. And K-Fed came, took the kids, and got a restraining order against Jamie Spears, Britney's dad. And the restraining order is in place. Now, nobody can validate what truly happened with this alleged story. But the fact that Kevin Federline got a restraining order against Britney Spears' dad, they don't just throw those out there for nothing. I mean, maybe because he's got money, they're a little more willy-nilly with it. But if you're telling me even K-Fed's like, Mr. Popo Zao won't associate with her dad, and every other boyfriend that Britney's had has called him a D. But again, I think a lot of these boyfriends, like the Sam Ashari or whatever, who dated Courtney Love and who has all these gnarly stories about him and torturing Francis Bean Cobain's boyfriend and like just being like a henchman for Courtney Love. Sam, I think, was a bad idea for Britney. When I was looking up her new manager, I guess there's photos of like him kissing her on the cheek. Like, these dudes get in with Britney, become their manager, and try to be a love interest. And I feel like, that's where you know her dad is a D. Because if she felt the love from her dad, she wouldn't be searching out all these jerk ass hats, these guys that are just no good for her. And where's her dad during that? During the conservatorship? He can put an IUD in her to not let her have babies, but he can't tell these dudes to kick rocks. Like, that's where it counts, He's too busy trying to set up a Las Vegas residency for her. So shame on you, Jamie, Britney's dad. Leave Britney alone. But she finally has control of her life now again at what, 42 years old? Or 43? She's gonna be 43. Imagine that. You spend your whole 30s, you can't make a decision for yourself, even down to the color of the cabinets in the house you paid for. Somebody spending all your money however they want. Putting you in the hospital, putting you on drugs that you don't want to take. They even said, alleged, again, it's in the article down below. Hit the subscribe and notification bell, please. And hit that like button. But it's even alleged that her dad had Britney's house, the kitchen, the bedrooms bugged so they could listen to her. Which, why would you do that? Talk about somebody who's already paranoid, somebody who's already going through stress and pressure, and then you treat them like this. Like, it's not going to get better. I say, leave Britney Spears alone. And congrats, Britney, for getting your life back. I hope you can make some good decisions. Long road to recovery. I hope you keep taking it one day at a time, and that, you make some better decisions with the men in your life. I'm sorry that your dad has role modeled that for you, but I think that's a big downfall for her. She just needs some time to herself. Where's K-Fed? K-Fed seems like the most level-headed one out of all this, which I never thought I'd say. But K-Fed needs to pull herself out, be like, Britney, listen, we have kids together. You just need to take some time for yourself. But again, I highly recommend you read about a conservatorship and how these should be better. Like, there should be safeguards or safe rails to this conservatorship stuff, because it seems like her dad abused that system while he's using her money. Like, I was reading, like, even through the court case, hi, JM Fallout, you will crash your car. I'm not driving. I know it looks like it, but I'm not driving. I'm parked. I'll never, listen, I was in a bad car accident where we rear-ended someone. It was in the 90s. We didn't wear seatbelts. I went through the airbag, spiderwebbed the whole windshield. The doctor never said my face would look the same. I recovered, though. But after that, I don't mess around with cars. If you've ever been in a car accident, just the sound alone is terrifying. I am American. Are you? JM Fallout, shout out to you. Thanks for being up in the chat. If you could, JM Fallout, hit that subscribe button. I go live every weekday. Sometimes twice a day, sometimes on the weekends, but I give you my word that I go live every weekend. Brazilian! Oh, Popo Zao. Did you hear the Popo Zao song by K-Fed? K-Fed released that. I think it was Brazilian. There's Brazilian, beats in it. I have a lot of friends that are Brazilian. My neighbors. Almost everybody in my neighborhood. But yeah, if you could hit that subscribe button, JM Fallout, Dude, I would really, really appreciate it. Popo's out. Yeah, you know. you know. I'm so stoked that you know Popo's out. Because that must have been 15 years ago now. At least 13 to 15 years ago. That's so funny. Now I kind of want to listen to it just to be nostalgic. I never thought I'd say that. But yeah, if you could hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I'd love it if you join the live stream again. I go live every weekday, so again tomorrow. And I'm trying to release more and more videos, reactions. I got some reactions on my page. And if you got any suggestions of what to react to, please let me know. I thank you guys so much for joining me in the live stream. If you mean the world to me. I'm trying to give this YouTube thing my all. So any suggestions, any recommendations? Brazilia's going through some tears. I heard that, man. Sending you some love. A lot of these countries are going through some hard times, and it's all due to greed. That's the most unfortunate part. The people that have enough just want more, and it sucks. Because there's so many good people that just want a comfy couch, a TV to watch, some warm food, not even a TV. They just want a place to rest their head. So shout out to you, JM Fallout. And listen, solidarity with you, man. I pray things get better. It really sucks, the greed in this world and how it's destroyed so much. I hate it. So my heart is with you. 344 people died due to floods. Oh, God. That's horrific. That is so horrific. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm very sorry. Prayers go to all their families, because that's got to be unbearable. That's what it is. There's no words. It's got to be unbearable. I hope you're safe. I hope your family's safe. All right, I got to wrap it up because I got to go do a couple things. But JM Fallout, I really love that you were up in the chat. It means the world to me. I'm trying to do my best of this YouTube thing, but I can't do it without you. So again, I say, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Especially you, JM Fallout, please hit that subscribe and notification bell, because I would love it if you got back up in the chat. And let me know if there's anything you guys suggest I talk about. I'm always trying to peel through the news and see some interesting, weird stuff and give you a unique take, especially Seinfeld. Screw you, Seinfeld. All right? I know he watches this. You're creepy, man. Dating a 17-year-old at the age of 38. Gross. As Adam Sandler once said, gross. All right. Solidarity with you, JM Fallout. Take care of yourself. Be good to one another. Much love and respect. Salute.